Agreement on construction of River Rufiji electricity project signed. Kenya celebrates 55th Mashujaa Day. Mtibwa Sugar to head to Uganda tomorrow for second CAF match. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The President of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, has said that when the construction of the River Rufiji hydropower project has been completed, then Tanzania will be self-sufficient in terms of electricity supply, and Tanzanians should expect to buy units of electricity at a reduced price. This is because electricity that is generated from a hydropower project is usually cheaper. President Dr. Magufuli made those remarks at the State House in Dar es Salaam after witnessing the signing of a partnership agreement for the construction of the River Rufiji hydropower project between TANESCO, Arab Contractors Company, and Elsewedi Electric Company, with both companies being from Egypt.
Once we're able to generate 2,115 megawatts, we'll be able to sell it at a low price. Our industries, which we are building, will have products that will sell at a low price, meaning that our products will be able to compete internationally. In the process, strengthening the economy of Tanzanians. As you may have heard, when the contract was signed, the contractor will be given a 6-month mobilization period, and the project itself will take 36 months.
This comes in light of the Egypt's willingness and commitment to enhancing African cooperation and its keenness on the achievement of tangible results during its presidency, stemming from the actual needs of the African countries and peoples. Once again, I would like to express my appreciation to the Tanzanian government for the warm welcome, and would like to take this opportunity to assure Your Excellency, Honorable President, that the Egyptian government, with its different political, economic, and technical institutions, is working diligently to further enhance our bilateral relationship.
First phase will be to build 2 large walls of 1,025 meters high and 135 meters deep. The next phase will be to build a large dam with 100 kilometers depth and 25 kilometers width, with capacity to store 35.2 billion cubic meters.
Residents of 3 small villages of Ndala Ward in Shinyanga town have had to sleep outside their homes due to floods which were caused by overnight rains. The executive officer of Ndala Ward, Sarah Isaac, confirmed the fact that the houses of some residents had steeply collapsed and noted that the flood waters had damaged some of the residents' properties and spoiled their food supplies as well.
The water came from all sides, and by 8 a.m. one of the walls had collapsed, so I was forced to move my belongings to a neighbor's house. We are saddened by the floods. I was at my auntie's place, and I received a call that our house was flooded, so I came back immediately and saw what damage had been done. We lost maize and rice that was stored in the house. People have lost homes and some have been left with no food. As the ward officer, together with Disaster Rescue Committee, we will force those who have cultivated land near the river to uproot their crops so as to allow water to flow easily.
Unknown individuals have cut wires and pulled down an electricity pole by using a saw in Makumira area, Arumeru district. This has caused residents to lose electricity for over 28 hours. TANESCO manager in Arusha region, Hirin Mhina, said that the incident has affected the organization's operations and that they will work with legal organs to seek out those involved and take action to end the behavior.
Made responsible. These people are sabotaging our country's economy. Last night, a group of unknown individuals cut a high-voltage electricity pole. The wire comes from Kia through Usa River and Mrefu area. This is economic sabotage.
The head of defense forces in the country, General Venant Mabeo, has said that the bureaucracy present in main warehouses is the cause of delays in transportation of cashew nuts from one place to another. This is contributing to army vehicles' long wait period of over 10 hours for the goods.
Bureaucracy must be minimized because in some cases our vehicles are delayed up to 2 days waiting for the consignment to be offloaded. Operational-wise, we had a time frame on when this exercise must be completed. Vehicles available are not utilized well. That's what I was told by the regional commissioner, that Ndahimba should have priority. At the moment, there is no flow of vehicles from the villages to this place. The Ministry of Agriculture has made this clear on how such matters are to be handled.
More than 4,500 residents of Kankwale village in Sumbawanga municipality, Rukwa region, are in danger of lacking essential services such as health services, especially for expectant mothers after the River Mamba bridge was seriously damaged by the ongoing seasonal rains. The mayor of Sumbawanga municipality, Justin Malisawa, who visited the bridge in order to see the extensive damage caused to it by the rains, said that since last year, through the Tanzania Urban and Rural Roads Agency, TARURA, they had asked for more than 200 million shillings in order to build the bridge anew, but the funds have not yet been found.
We are the ones who make bricks for houses constructed in Sumbawanga. So where will we sell our bricks if there is no bridge? I ask anyone listening to help us. I make bricks, and we must use the money from selling bricks to buy farm implements. But as you can see, there is no bridge, so how can I feed my family? In this area, there is no alternative route. We have at least 700 homesteads, but there is also a secondary school. A lot of families depend on farming, so we shall have to work with other stakeholders to repair the bridge.
The Court of Corruption and Economic Sabotage has handed Mozambique citizen Ana Moses Chisano a life sentence after being found guilty of being in possession of 3.03 kgs of drugs. The ruling was given by the High Court Judge Lillian Mashaka according to the Prevention and Combating of Drugs Law number 15 subsection 1B states that anyone found guilty of involvement with illegal drugs will serve life in prison. Ana Chisano was caught at Julius Nyerere International Airport in Dar es Salaam on November 2016 as she was coming from Ethiopia using the national airline. After she was searched, she was found with an envelope of powder, which after testing was determined to be 3.03 kgs of cocaine. Despite the defendant's lawyer's request for a reduced sentence as it was the first offense and she had 2 children depending on her, Judge Mashaka said that she considered the defense given at the court, but that the law does require she serve life in jail and ordered that the illegal drugs be burnt immediately. Over 350 employees who are implementing the Mpemba-Isonkole road construction project in Songwe region have gone on strike for an unspecified amount of time to push the engineer of China Geoengineering Corporation to pay their claims, which they have not received for 17 months.
What we want is to be paid arrears, then we shall carry on with work. We are not on strike. Our employer is the one who is on strike by refusing to provide us with answers. They cheated us on overtime. They paid us less. This also applies to our food allowance. They don't give us enough protective wear, so we are able to change. From now on, they are willing to pay you 2,500, so anyone who wants to come tomorrow to work, then please do so. But everything will be settled by next week.
The coordinator of the Tanzania Human Rights Defenders Coalition, THRDC, Mr. Onesmo Olengurumwa, has said that in order for the country to achieve prosperity, it must have youth who have the ability to question, criticize and then defend, starting from the lowest levels. Speaking during an event held to mark the 70th year of the existence of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights and the smaller UN Declaration on Defenders of Human Rights, which attracted nearly 100 youth from various universities, Mr. Onesmo said that youth are supposed to begin defending those rights starting from when they are in school.
As part of ensuring that these young people who are sitting here today do not lose the focus of what they are doing today. And those who are not doing human rights, who are also sitting here, we want at the end of the day that they develop that interest of becoming a human rights defender.
That is why it's important to celebrate the Declaration on Human Rights Defenders, to spread information about it, so that everybody is aware what it means to be a human rights defender, what the rights and protection are of human rights defenders. Now, let me end by saying that, and I think you also mentioned it, Mr. Coordinator, that if we're going to have another 70 years of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we need you, as young human rights defenders, to take that work forward. Because without human rights defenders, we cannot achieve the objectives of that Universal Declaration.
And that is all for national news. Do stay with us. International news follows up next. And in international news, President Uhuru Kenyatta has called on the judiciary to up its game on the war against corruption. Addressing the nation during celebrations of the 55th Mashujaa Day at Nyayo Stadium in Nairobi on Wednesday, President Kenyatta decried the court's issuance of ridiculous bail terms to corruption suspects. His comments come days after senior officials and ex-officials of the Kenya Pipeline Company and the National Cereals and Produce Board, as well as the National Hospital Insurance Fund, were freed on bonds and bails after denying various charges.
We will continue to support the peace building and conflict resolution in South Sudan, and we remain encouraged by growing peace between Ethiopia and Eritrea, and for the dropping of international sanctions against Sudan. We will work with every one of these countries to strengthen the peace, to eliminate any havens of terrorists and extremists, and to replace bullets and grenades with trade and investment.
The state prosecution in Rwanda said that they will appeal the decision by the court in the country to release opposition leader Diane Rwigara and her mother Adeline Rwigara, as some pieces of evidence were not considered when the ruling was given.
appeal against that decision. And absolutely, we believe that the evidence presented by prosecution was very strong, and much of it was not probably properly examined, and so the appeals court, we believe, shall have time to examine our appeal and take another decision.
The deputy head of the Electoral Commission of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Norbert Katitima, said that everything is now ready for elections to take place in 12 days on December 23rd, and that the elections will not be postponed.
Kwa leo deployment imekwisha, au vijana tunaweza kuwapigia asante, kwani ni wajeni Kongolezi
we are moving forward and not backwards.
Inabidi wajue kama Kongo ni nchi. Kongo is not an NGO. Wakituheshimia tutawaheshimia, lakini kama hatuheshimia tutaheshimiana. Yaani inabidi watuheshimie, tutawaheshimia, sasa tutatumika pamoja. Na kama watuheshimii, hatuwezi tukaheshimiana na tutatumika pamoja.
Parliament. With me this week is our Deutsche Welle correspondent, Rupert Wiedewald. Rupert, what exactly was this particular vote to establish?
Well, the Conservative MPs in the Commons are going into an open immunity, into a rebellion against their own Prime Minister Theresa May, because they are not at all satisfied by the outcome of the Brexit agreement with the European Union, and they have managed to gather at least 48 votes against Theresa May, so they were able to put forward this notion of a vote of no confidence, which is going to take place tonight. And the Conservative MPs who want to unseat Theresa May need at least 158 votes to do so, and Theresa May needs the same amount to stay in office. And if she managed to get this support, she would be safe for another year, but it's completely unclear till now how many votes and how much support she can gather until tonight.
Well, this was all caused by this Brexit situation that's currently happening, and in a dramatic bid to reach these readjustments to Brexit treaty, the British Prime Minister did go on a whistle-stop tour to Germany, the Netherlands and the EU Commission. This was yesterday. She's hoping for a last-minute success. What answer did she get?
Well, one that wasn't very satisfying, not for her as Prime Minister, but also not for the Conservative British MPs in the Commons. The British Prime Minister wanted readjustment to the Brexit Treaty, the treaty which organizes the Brexit, the exit from Great Britain from the European Union, and she really wanted a readjustment on the so-called backstop agreement, a rather complicated mechanism designed to prevent a hard border between the Republic of Ireland and the British part of Ireland, Northern Ireland. But what she heard was a very friendly but clear no from Germany and the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who said after the meeting that there won't be any change to the agreement at all. And also the EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker, which is some sort of the president of the EU, he made it very clear that he doesn't see any possibility whatsoever for further negotiations.
So after she's failed to be successful in Berlin and Brussels yesterday, Theresa May now faces a power struggle at home, and if she does lose this vote of no confidence, she'll be replaced by a new Prime Minister. How would that change things for the EU?
Well, first of all, it wouldn't change very much, because the Brexit agreement which is on the table will stay on the table no matter who the British Prime Minister is. But if the Tory rebels succeed and a new Prime Minister comes to office, the situation will become even more difficult and complicated, because again the EU wouldn't know what to expect. For instance, if a radical Brexiteer like Boris Johnson or Jacob Rees-Mogg would take office, a hard Brexit would become even more likely. The Brexit with no rules whatsoever. The country, Great Britain, would just fall out of the EU and nobody would really know what's going to happen then. But it could also be the chance for the opposition to bring down the Conservative government once and for all and call for snap elections, which then would, of course, have the Brexit issue at the centre. This would be a second chance for the British people to vote on Brexit. Most clearly, the whole process will be delayed again, putting the already reached agreement between the UK and the EU into jeopardy and bringing more instability into the whole process, and that's something the EU and the UK right now don't need.
So do these European countries have anything to offer for the British to help with the situation right now?
Well, let's put it in the word of the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, who also had a meeting with Theresa May yesterday, and he summed it all up quite frankly on his Twitter account. He posted yesterday, clear that the EU wants to help. The question is only how. What is clear is the EU countries do not want to start negotiations again. They have been taking place for nearly 2 years now. And the most what the EU then can offer is some sort of an additional declaration in which the EU promises its goodwill on the backstop issue. But the main problem still is that the British government has always said what it doesn't want, but never really made it clear what it wants. And one thing the EU right now needs, and also the British need, is clarity. And that's something we right now don't have.
Thank you very much, Rupert. This situation is currently taking center stage, so let's watch and see how it develops.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Apologize for that slight technical difficulty at the beginning of that report. That's it for international news, but stay with us. We'll be back with business in just a minute.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back and on to business news. The Deputy Minister of Communication and Transport, Engineer Atashasta Nditiye, has directed the leadership of Air Tanzania Company Limited ATCL to investigate and work on claims of sabotage in the marketing department by some agents who are sabotaging ticket sales on claims that the airline flights are fully booked, with some planes traveling empty so that it can first fill up those from other airlines.
Some of the agents who sell our ATC air tickets are approached by other air companies to sell first tickets of those other air companies, then sell our ATC tickets. We have a new plane. It is very good, and its service inside is also very good. We have a nice inside security system to ensure that everything is well, because it's something highly took into consideration, and even the Prime Minister spoke of this again.
Some traders, including second-hand hawkers in Mwenge in Dar es Salaam City, and those who were able to receive special permits that were issued by President Magufuli to identify them, have commended the President for his decision, as it has alleviated
For me, I see it will help us street vendors to be seen as
kuonekana na sisi ni watu bora mbele ya jamii. Unajua kwa sababu machinga tulikuwa tunadharaulika, lakini sasa tunamshukuru rais wetu kwa sababu zoezi hili limeenda vizuri kwa sababu moja ama mbili. Nitumie nafasi hii kushukuru serikali ya awamu ya 5 inayoongozwa na Dr. John Joseph Magufuli, na kwa kuwa alishawahi kutoa maelekezo ya watu mamlaka husika. Bwana, hili zoezi bwana tumelifurahi, tumelipokea kwa faraja kubwa sana. Kwa sababu gani?
Because looking at vendors
in the past, we're harassed a lot. Machinga zamani alikuwa yuko anasumbuliwa sana.
Mobile company Airtel Tanzania has launched a special offer where a customer will have the freedom of using 60 GB internet packages for 6 months every time they purchase smartphones from Airtel shops in the country. And customers who conduct transactions worth more than 50,000 shillings on Airtel Money will receive 10 minutes in airtime.
Utaweza kujipatia dakika 10 za maongezi pale
utakapofanya. You can get 10 minutes of airtime with any money transaction you will do in either of these shops. And like how Mr. Eric from Techno has explained, these phones will be given with many other presents. So again, we are saying this is the time for Airtel users and all those who would like to use Airtel. This is your time to get all these presents during this holiday season. If you can go to any Airtel shop or branch and buy a phone, then you'll get an offer of 60 GB. All you'll need to do is keep airtime of 1,000 and the customer care will connect you.
That's all for business. Sports is next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, I hit it, the hip it, hip hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And on to sports. 20 players of Mtibwa Sugar, the technical team, as well as leaders, are expected to leave tomorrow to go to Uganda for the second match of the Confederations Cup against KCCA, which plays for the Uganda Premier League.
We'll be leaving around 7:30 to 8 with the whole team of 20 players, which is led by Sam Manyanga. The coaches are Zuberi Katwila, Patrick Mwangala, together with other leaders who will be accompanying the players to Uganda. Our match is on the 15th December in Uganda.
With Serengeti boys team expected to tomorrow play in the semi-finals against Zambia in the Zone 5 championships that are ongoing in Botswana, the team coach Mirambo Leo has conducted penalty shootout training for the players to prepare them to win even in penalty stages.
Ni muhimu kwa sababu hatua ambayo tunayofuatia sio hatua ya point tena, kwa sababu mechi haiwezi kuisha kwa idadi ya point. Mechi inaisha kwa lazima timu moja ishinde. Sasa kama lazima moja,
if we happen to go for penalty, then it will help us, but that is not our aim.
Dar es Salaam women's soccer team have commended the contribution of Bonga women's competition in developing the talent after the competition involved 100 women in Msongola and Kitonga ward from its inception in May of this year.
Ndio maana tunaanzia huku kwenye kata wacheze ili tuwaone, kwa sababu lazima mpira uanzie huku mbali chini.
It's only right to start from here then go to regional levels.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this news bulletin, thank you for watching and have a good night.